to Life Purpose by Design. Do you ever feel like your life wheel is spinning at the speed of hurry, 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 only to find yourself in a place of hurry up and wait? Well, today's conversation, Take Time to Press Pause, is designed to help you to adopt healthy mindset strategies to recalibrate your life as an intentional life choice versus an intentional life crisis. Because research shows that we all need to take a break and decompress as we can be at our best at life, at work, and play. Join today's conversation with certified life and wellness coach Marjorie Whitaker with Free to Leave LLC. So today is the day that you get to do something extra nice for yourself. You get to slow your pace and to take time for self care and personal recharging. We have a very special guest today who's going to help us navigate through some mindset strategies of what it means to press pause. We can go from good rest to good works. And one of the things that we do in doing that is learning how to take a break and decompress so that we can be our best at life, at work, and at play. Alan Fadlin, who's the author of A Year of Slowing Down, Daily Devotions for Unhurried Living, says it this way: good work grows out of a good rest. So, when was the last time that you pressed pause on purpose? Well, today is a good day to start. So, join the conversation with certified life and wellness coach Marjorie Whitaker with Free to Leave LLC.
Good afternoon, everyone. It
Hi,
is so wonderful to be here. Thank you so much, Life Purpose by Design, Miss Sheila Mills, for this opportunity.
thank you so much, Marjorie, for being with us. I want to just give our viewing audience some highlights of your background. So, Marjorie is a certified professional life and wellness coach. She's the founder of the Free to Leave LLC, which she will be sharing with us today. And I was reading her bio where it says the Free to Leave LLC grew out of her vision to support and encourage others to feel free to leap into new opportunities with a new mindset. So I love the leap part of what you're doing and the freedom that comes from being able to do that leap. So, Marjorie, is there anything else that you want our audience to know about you and your background before we get into our conversation?
Well, just that I am very much so a woman of God, a woman of faith. And this project and passion was really stirred up when the Lord told me, let my people know that they are loved. And we have to allow that love to be what catapults us into leaping into these opportunities and leaping into this life that is on purpose, that is present and purposeful, and just allows us to really enjoy our little slice of heaven here on earth. So that is what I help people to do.
Great. And one of the things I noticed is that it is also about embracing personal growth. So I'm sure during our conversation today that we're definitely going to talk on that topic about how do we press pause on purpose so that we can experience and embrace personal growth from those places of rest and recalibrating ourselves. So let's just get started. When you say press pause, what does that mean to you? And what is it that you want us to frame our minds around?
Like you said, it's that mindset shift. When you press pause, you know that it's not a fake press pause, because sometimes we get into pressing pause and we rest for a little bit, but we really aren't authentic and we really aren't intentional about checking in with ourselves and bringing awareness to where we are in life, and if our life is reflecting our values. Sometimes we have these little vacations and we have these moments where, okay, I'll take a nap, I'll take a break. but we really need to check in with ourselves, check in with our bodies, check in with our minds, check in with our spirits, and do the deep dive to really see, are my habits and is my system that I'm living by, is that really serving me to the best of its ability? And really asking ourselves, do we need to make a change somewhere?
I definitely can say amen to that because I found myself for the past 2 weeks just doing a lot more check ins and looking at ways to realign and to really look at what is it that I'm doing and does it really align with my values that I
Hmm.
say that I have, the things that I say are a priority to me. And sometimes I'm finding that the answer is yes, sometimes I'm finding that the answer is no. But because we get to experience personal growth, it's not one and done. I get a chance to just step
Exactly.
back, take a deep breath, and kind of refocus myself. So when we are going through this deeper dive, I want to ask you a question because I know what some of my challenges are. What, in your experience as a life coach, or even in your personal experience, what do you think are a few challenges to us giving ourselves permission to press pause?
I think that one thing that we all seem to struggle with is choosing ourselves, because we are in this world that's constantly spinning. We have all of these things to do. We're in a culture that commends hustle, hustle, do this, build this, grow this. And sometimes we grow things so much that we make ourselves feel small. And we are always in this state of we're not enough, we're not doing enough, when in actuality, we have to make sure that we're doing what we're called to do and not what we feel obligated to do. And I think that one of the big challenges is just taking that step back and saying, okay, what do I need to do for me? And understand that the way we treat ourselves is the standard. For those who are believers, we know the commandments, loving God with all our heart, our soul, and our mind, and then loving our neighbors like we love ourselves. But how often do we put everything we have, our hearts and souls and minds and strength and energy, into all these tasks, all these projects, all these other things, and then we treat our neighbors oftentimes better than we treat ourselves. We put ourselves on the back burner and we tell ourselves, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, anything to overcompensate and overextend. But then we have to realize that we're the standard for love. How we love and treat ourselves is the standard for how we love and treat our neighbors. And so having that mindset to say, I have to come first and take care of myself first so that I'm not pouring from an empty cup all the time, but pouring from our overflow.
I love what you said when you say we are so busy building things until we can create atmosphere, I guess, where we then begin to feel so small because everything becomes so big, and then we have feelings of inadequacy, feelings of being overwhelmed, and sometimes I have to sit back and say, okay, but I did this to myself. So
Yeah.
also have when I made the decision to build up all these walls and feeling like I'm closed in and becoming overwhelmed, it's like, okay, I now have to take responsibility to figure out what are the resources that I can use to, approach one wall at a time and see what
Yes.
was the wall that I needed to build even in the first place. So I definitely have a great value for, you know, life coaches and mentors and what their role is. So before we talk about, the role of the life coach and how life coaching can help, what are some practical alarms or alerts when we can know that, wow, maybe I need to step back and press pause?
I love one of the things you said, because you said, when you notice things and you start to take stock of all the things that you're doing, it's okay to pivot. And a lot of times we are afraid to pivot because, like you said, oh, I did this to myself. I should go ahead and go through with it, or I should do this. But it's okay to pivot, and pursue new things. So, going back to your question, a lot of those challenges that we see, we don't want to live a life where we constantly need a vacation. If we feel like our lives are so busy and so overwhelming that we're so tired all the time and we constantly need a break from it, then we haven't truly cultivated the life that God intends for us. Like I said again, sometimes we do these things we are obligated to do, but not necessarily called to do, because we are called to rest. There's a time and a season for everything under the sun, and sometimes we have that mindset that we have to earn rest. But rest is a necessity, rest is essential. You have to do it in order to succeed and be in a space where you can hear clearly what your purpose is, where you can understand the direction in which you are supposed to go, and where you can just be in a better state of mind, not just for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, for the other relationships, and for the good works that you intend to do. So oftentimes we just have to take that break because before we need it. And definitely when it's clear and obvious that we need it, we can't just keep going until our bodies force us to stop. Sometimes our minds are screaming at us, hey, I need a break. It's too much going on in here. I need something. But don't wait until it's too late. We have to create and cultivate systems of living where rest and play and fun and excitement and all of those things that we do on vacation are intertwined into our everyday lives so that we don't feel like we have to have a vacation from our lives.
You're stepping on my toes, Marjorie, because I'm forever planning a vacation. I'm forever figuring out, okay, when is my next break? When is my next respite? When is my next sabbatical? And it's not that, life is extremely hard or whatever, but sometimes I'm just looking for that, sometimes I'm guilty of choosing play over purpose sometimes. So, in all transparency, there are times I have to really be intentional about choosing the purpose work versus the playful work and to make sure that there's balance in that. And I saw something the other day where somebody says, I work hard, but I play hard. And so I
Mhm.
kind of wrote that down like, okay, let's do the work. And then we get to play even harder. And so when you said those words, I call them these little spiritual ouches. That's what it felt like for me. And then there are times when I experience like guilt when I'm
Mhm.
wanting to, not like, and I'm not talking about neglecting your responsibilities or anything like that. I'm just talking about feeling guilty because for me, it's like when there's a lot going on around me or in the world, and I'll share in the past 2 weeks, I got word that two different people that I know they experienced personal losses in their families, and I really was trying to navigate my way between all the press pause and the work and the play that I was doing and dealing with the pain that I know that two people that I care very much was experiencing in this. So there was a little kind of like guilt, like, oh, I don't need to be having too much fun because these people over here are experiencing such a tremendous loss and pain. And I had to really pray my way through that. Guilt is a role for a lot of people, particularly people who have family responsibilities and parents,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff where they feel like, I don't know whether I should be putting myself first. So, what is the role of a life coach, and how can life coach help us with those mindset strategies of valuing, pressing pause, and taking that rest stop?
Yes, even what you said about the spiritual ouches, with vacation, if it's a value, then it's intertwined. You work hard, play hard. That means that work is a value, and play is a value. So it's all intertwined into my system of living. And family and friends are values. And that's intertwined into my system of living. And I have to intertwine rest and pressing pause within that. And like you said, guilt is a major component because we have adopted a mindset where we want to do more for others sometimes than we do for ourselves. But if we're not together, we can't be together for anybody else. And the good thing is that our family and friends, they want what's best for us. They want you to get rest. They want you to have fun. They want you to play. So we have to have that press pause moment for ourselves to say, why do I feel guilty for that? And because if you understand how to not feel guilty and you bring that power back, then no one else can make you feel guilty either. And that kind of intertwines into the role of a life coach. What we do is we're that mirror and we're that sounding board. Whereas therapy and clinical mental health, they will look at your past and do some analyzing and they will analyze for you. But life coaching is more so you're in the driver's seat. I'm listening to you, I'm asking you questions, and we're able to reveal what it is that you really feel, what systems are in place, what systems are working, what systems are not working, any blocks that you have in reaching your goals, and kind of like you said, cultivating a system where you're getting rest, you're pursuing your goals, you're leaping into opportunities with a mindset that is successful and that will allow you to continue to be successful and not really have those hills and valleys that we can have sometimes when we feel like we're navigating life alone. But you have that partner that's there and holding you accountable and also assisting you in being aware of what's going on in your life and where you want to take it.
So tell us more about Free to Lead LLC. What services do you provide? Um, what is your vision going forward?
So, again, when it all started, it was just about God told me, let my people know that they are loved and that heaven is attainable on earth. And sometimes we put ourselves through hell on earth because we're trying to meet expectations that we really have not set or taken the time to set. And sometimes we're living up to other people's expectations that we didn't give them permission to set. And so, Free to Lead is really just a safe space where you can be your authentic self. And if you don't know what your authentic self is, you can figure out how to find out who you really are. What are your true values? What are your true goals? And understand the truest version of yourself. And one way, really the only way that we can do that is by tapping in and pressing pause. So, what we do is we create little pockets, little moments where you can take stock. And so it's all about self-care and soul care. So we have this raffle currently for our holidays. One of our holiday raffles is a lunch and learn for Thanksgiving and some sipping on self-care drinkware. And for Christmas, we have a 60-minute massage that we are raffling. And as the new year comes, we do different conferences. We have various online opportunities where we might be focusing on mothers, taking the time to press pause, focusing on mothers of children with special needs. I have a son with autism, and oftentimes you find yourself putting their needs in the forefront and you find yourself getting burnt out. But if you're burnt out, you can't possibly give them what they need. And it's so many mothers who are experiencing that, and fathers and grandparents and the whole village. So we'll be talking about how to take care of yourself and your children in a healthy way when you have children with special needs. Sometimes we do couples with pressing pause and really stepping back and taking the time to take stock of those habits and those routines. And we all leads up to our big annual Free to Leap anniversary, which is usually centered all around self care and creating opportunities for people to just tune in with yourself, be mind, body, and spirit renewed, and just continue to live a life that is intentional and it is happy and you're present and purposeful and just walking into your calling.
Well, I attended one of your Free to Leave in person retreats, and I can testify to the fact that I left there just feeling so renewed and recharged. And just to be present with myself while I was there. So many opportunities to connect with the wonderful women that were there, but you gave such great self space. And so we could just go sit off. You didn't have to worry about um, like you were missing out on something. There was time for us to come together as a group. The only regret I had is I wished I had booked a hotel room. I wanted to leave there and just check into a quiet place and just kind of relive some of the moments. So I definitely
Mhm.
know the next time that I come to one of your retreats, I am definitely coming. And I agree with you, Brenda, so fully. If you've not taken one of her sessions, you're really missing out. But I'm just telling you, if you're coming from out of town for where it's at, you might want to invest in, an overnight stay. Really, it was so much. And because I was driving back, I got a little distracted, but then when I arrived home, I was able to take the resources that you provided, met some beautiful sisters
Yeah.
that you were able to connect with after the event. But I can really tell you that it was one of the most effective self care focused events that I've gone to. It really has. So I just want
Thank
to
you
you know
so.
what you do because, and I was so glad that someone that I know introduced me to you and to your Free to Leave retreat because it was such a blessing. But yes,
Thank
I will.
you.
You're gonna put that save the date out there early because I need to make sure I get a hotel reserved,
Yes.
and I'm gonna
And
bring.
that's what it's all about is honoring the truest version of ourselves. And not that no is a bad word. If you need time and space to yourself, then that's okay. Because if we say yes to everything, then every yes is a no to something else. Not that we're going around saying no, 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 but we're really being intentional with our yeses, especially when it comes to ourselves. So I'm so glad that we were able to connect and that you had a wonderful time because we really enjoyed your presence at our retreat as well. And just what you have created for people is just truly beautiful. I pray that God continues to bless you and continues to direct your path. And I just thank God for your obedience.
Thank you so much. So, if somebody's wanting to know more about your upcoming events or about Free to Leave, I think we have your website that we can put on the screen, but just in case it doesn't pop up, what is your website?
So our website is under construction. I'll be honest about that. We're working on that, but please follow us on social media platforms at Free to Leap LLC on Instagram, as well as Free to Leap LLC on Facebook. So that is where you will see lots of our postings, our events, our raffles and giveaways, and that is where you will be able to buy that ticket for the upcoming retreat.
Okay, so you mentioned a lunch and learn. Is that after Thanks? Is that in 2023 or
So
24?
it is in 2023. So for our Thanksgiving raffle, we will be raffling off a free lunch and learn. So at that time, you will get a 30-minute coaching session during your lunch period or anytime. But those are the 30-minute sessions are kind of just that check-in session. Sometimes people need to have a little vent in the middle of the day or get some accountability held in the middle of the day. So that is a great opportunity for just a moment of peace and a moment just to talk with your partner who has your best interest at heart. And for our Christmas raffle, we will be raffling a 60-minute massage that you can have if you are in the Columbia, Irmo, Kershaw County area, or even if you're willing to drive down here, because the Well SC is a wonderful place. We love to partner with people who are doing the same things and who value self care, value soul care, and are providing wonderful services for everyone to just have rest and revitalization. So the Well SC will be providing that 60-minute massage, and Nana E. Scott and Company will be providing our Sipping on Self-Care gift for the person who wins the Lunch and Learn for the Thanksgiving raffle.
Well, I can vouch that those are good people. It's a safe place. And so thank you for creating a safe place. Sometimes you don't know what to expect when you go into new places, but you have such a for lack of a better word, army of people who are well vested and people who you can just even look at their lives and your lives and see that this really is a safe place and a place where you can experience authenticity and you can actually be vulnerable among a group of. I liked it because it was, you just came and you were able to be yourself. It wasn't about positions, titles, whether you were a stay-at-home mom or whether you were a CEO of a company. It was just a level playing field. And I love the fact that you really focus on the mind, body, spirit, and soul, the totality of, the persons that God created us to be. And when I think about recline or somewhere, not just pressing pause where you're lying up, recline or somewhere with your feet, kicked up. And that could be part of your press pause. But there's a higher purpose pause that, God has called us to. And Charles Spurgeon says, however great may be the work for which we are responsible, we will always do well if we pause to spend time in sacred praise. And Isaiah 40:31 says, but they that wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They should walk and not faint. So no matter what it is that we've been called to do, there's this
Mhm.
sacred place that you may call soul care, and people may call it different things, that God calls us into, and He allows us to enter those places away
Yeah.
from the hustles and the bustles of life, to be recharged and to be renewed and to just recalibrate so that we can re engage in the work that He has purposed, that He has planned, and He has promised for us. And
Yeah.
the good thing about it all is that He says, hey, guess what? I am the one that's going to bring about the fulfillment of the work. I just need you. I need your availability. So, part of the great work that you're doing is helping us to learn about how do we become available to God so that He can bring about the work that He has purpose. And also, the other thing that you said that really benefits me is about, as the coach, you're just giving us the mirror to look into. And that's just so important. And to have a trusted relationship with a coach who can help you come and be authentic, be vulnerable, and to
Mhm.
take the mask off is just so important. So, before we wrap up, are there any last minute tips, strategies, or takeaways that you'd like to share with us today?
I think what you just said was a beautiful wrap up, because we know that we have to look to the hills from which cometh our help coming from the Lord. And whatever it is that we need help with, whether it's I need help with resting, I need help with knowing what to do next, I need help with the direction I'm supposed to go in, I need help with understanding how to be still, because some of us don't know how to be still. I need help with waiting in this season to be revitalized and to be refreshed and renewed by your Holy Spirit. And you can only do that when you are truly in the presence of the Lord, in that quiet place, seeking His direction and seeking Him while He can be found. So I think that that is the greatest thing that any of us can do, because we were put on this earth for a purpose and for a plan. And although we may not know what the plan is, God knows the plans that He has for us, to prosper us, not to harm us, but of a hope and of a bright future. And if we want to see God blow our minds, we have to be obedient and in a space where we can hear exactly what He wants us to do so we can go exactly where He wants us to go.
Marjorie, again, thank you so much for joining us today here at Light Purpose by Design and just encouraging us to stop and smell the roses, to think about the fearfully, wonderfully life that God has given us. And what does that look like when we entrust ourselves to Him, and when we entrust ourselves to the vessels and the resources and the instruments like a Christian life coach, because those are the coaches that I connect with. And that's, as a person of faith, I have to have a Christian life coach. Um, so I want to just encourage everyone that, today is your day to just take time and to press pause, to stop and smell the roses for the fearfully and wonderfully life that God has given you. I'm calling you out to make it a priority to align your God gifted purpose, the privilege that God has given you to be in Christ, and then the power that He has placed inside of you in order to press pause to your ever increasing demands of life changes, commitments, and challenges. Mary Hershey says it best, I think. She says, live with intention, walk to the edge, listen hard, practice wellness, play with abandon, laugh, choose with no regret, do what you love, and live as if this is all there is. So, as we come to the close of today's conversation, it's time to press pause with our phenomenal guests, certified life purpose coach and wellness coach, Marjorie Whitaker. I want to say, I wanted you to have a bountiful Thanksgiving as we're entering into the end of the year and we're approaching holiday seasons. And I don't know about you, but I am in great expectancy of my Jeremiah 29:11 for whatever God has purposed for the remainder of this year, and with expectancy and walking by faith and not by sight of
Yes.
what may embrace us for the new year. So I found this quote that I think is a very good reflection and mindset. It says, when asked if my cup is half full or half empty, my only response is that I'm thankful that I have a cup. I want to encourage you this holiday season as you make an intentional choice to press pause, to look in the mirror, to commune with God, and to connect with the God sent people and resources that He has prepared for you. Be thankful that you have a cup. Thank you for joining us here at Light Purpose by Design. Special thanks again, Marjorie, for joining us.
Thank
And
you
we'll
so
see
much.
you sometime. I don't know what the rest of this year is going to be about because I'm committed to pressing pause. So I'm sure I'll be in and out, but I just want to thank everybody for joining us here at Light Purpose by Design. And just remember to be thankful that you have a cup.
Amen to that. Thank you so much for this opportunity.